Hello and welcome to this review of Henry McKenna Straight Bourbon Whiskey. And I got a great deal on this product. I got it for $8.99 at Majoria's grocery store in the United States, Highway 90 eastbound in Boutte, Louisiana. Boutte. Okay, anyway, another area that was wrecked by the Hurricane Ida. I know one guy that lives out there in the next town next to it, and his house was, he said his house is too damaged to be repaired. They're going to have to tear it down. That's how bad the storm was. But anyway, Henry McKenna Kentucky Straight Bourbon Sour Mash, distilled by Henry McKenna Distillery, Bardstown, Kentucky, but it's really Heaven Hill who owns it now, okay? They like to use these alias names, or as the U.S. government allows, they call it an assumed name. Arriving from Ireland in 1837, Henry McKenna knew he had brought something special to the U.S. Years later, he used his family's recipe, passed down for generations, to produce his great sippin', that's the way they write it, sippin' whiskey at the distillery he founded in 1855 near Fairfield, Kentucky. I'm reading this because I don't think it's on the website, and I'll explain in a minute. Due to McKenna's strict requirement of proper aging before bottling, it didn't take long for his whiskey to become popular. Today's Henry McKenna still satisfies those looking for a real whiskey with real history. And it does have a real history. It's not a made-up history, but it's not a real company anymore. It's just part of Heaven Hill. It's a Heaven Hill brand. They also make the 10-year age, which I know Mathern's has. Going to cost you a good deal more than $8.99. But can you get an $8.99 straight bourbon, and can it be a good product, or is it just going to be horrible? Well, I think you can get them for a great price, and they're not going to be horrible. And I think this is going to prove it. I don't know. I've never had it. I didn't watch any of the video reviews for it. I haven't read any written reviews for it, but here we go. Early in the morning. Nice looking bottle. I don't know if they're trying to make it look like old wood or cork or something. It's hard to say. This is not listed. I think there's a website for Henry McKenna 10-year. But this is not listed on their website except under product specifications, where they just say, you can get a liter bottle or 750 or whatever bottle sizes, and that's mainly used by distributors to probably make orders. But most consumers aren't going to look at that. So there's no website listing for this. Heaven Hill showcases a few of their products, and then the rest they just don't discuss. They just have it under the product specifications, and there may be a lot more than what's listed there, and that's a huge number. Anyway, so here we go. I don't have a McKenna glass. I've got this Jack Daniel's rocks glass. Okay. Amber. Copper. No, copper. That's a better description. Copper, clear. No coloring can be added to straight bourbon. There's no age statement, which means it has to be at least 4 years old. You don't have to put an age statement, but that means the youngest whiskey in there has to be at least 4 years old. So the legs, the drips, that we call them alcohol legs, they're a little ragged, to tell you the truth. Check one more time. No, there's no age statement. Just want to make sure I'm not overlooking something, but no. And then there's no reference at all to Heaven Hill. They're trying to differentiate, distance themselves from the parent company. We can tell it's the Heaven Hill bottle. They always had that straight cylindrical bottle. Remember, Jack Daniel's is a sour mash Tennessee whiskey, but it is a bourbon too, but they don't use that term. Just smells like cereal grains, meaning what? It's mostly corn. Bourbon has to be at least 51% corn. And they might be using some barley whiskey, as they would call it in Scotland or Ireland, single malt whiskey. And could be some wheat and rye in there, I'm pretty sure. It smells like could be a touch of rye, wouldn't be a lot of it. Fermented and distilled grain product, predominantly corn. A vanilla nose coming from the oak. It's simple, it's not bad. I got a great deal on a straight bourbon, and it's a good product from Savannah Discount, the Bellows Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. That liter bottle they had for $5.99, and when I first saw it, I said, "Oh, I've had that blended whiskey before." And the guy was like, "Okay, boss." So, but then, because he had found the price for me, $5.99. Then somehow I was in the store and I glanced back and I said, "Wait, this is straight bourbon. This is not the other two that I have, the Bellows blended and the Club whiskey, another blend." So I said, I have to buy $5.99 straight bourbon, and it's been a very nice product. So it just goes to show you, you can get a lot but not have to pay a lot many times. Sometimes you pay a lot and you don't get a lot. And then sometimes you pay a little and you get a little. So there's no real good pattern to it. Okay, taste. It must be a low char level, maybe a number 2 char, because it's not real heavily charred. It's there, charred oak, corn, vanilla, a little dried fruit, cake fruit like you get in those Mylar bags. That's a little touch of that. Otherwise, that's it. Medium body and a medium long finish. It does linger a little bit. Simple but not bad. Enjoyable. How would I score it? Go with. I think I'll go with a B plus. 89, 8.9 out of 10. Still, a B plus bourbon for $9. You might have to pay 10 if you go somewhere. But around here, I've never seen it more than $9.99. They don't even sell it in this town, but in Metairie, New Orleans, I've seen it. It's a great deal, and I would recommend it. So don't expect the world, but then again, when you see the price, you probably wouldn't be expecting that. But it's solid, no defects, really no defects, no off aromas or flavors. Just a little, like you say, a little simple, or if you want to say bland, you could say that. So, but is it a sipping bourbon like they claim? I guess it's more of a mixer, but you could sip it. I'm doing that, and it's not off-putting at all. So, les bon temps relais, and I'm going to end this review by saying go to Bardstown, Kentucky, and tour the Heaven Hill Experience, they call it. I don't think it's really a distillery tour, but it's like a showcase museum. That's what it's called, the Heaven Hill Experience. Thank you.